Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. We're here today with a throng of angry Dawi joining Lewin Leoncoeur on his crusade here. Looks like the White Dwarf himself has made an appearance, so yes indeed, this is going to be a 2v2 with myself and Black Iron of Black Iron Battles. Of course, I'll have a link to his channel down in the description below. You guys definitely go check him out. Great guy, a lot of fun to play twos with. We've been playing quite a bit of twos lately, actually. And yeah, you guys want to check out his channel, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. We've got a very fun battle here, very cool and thematic. Dwarves and Bretonnia up against Chaos and the Beastmen here in the Chaos Waste, so very thematic and appropriate. So let's go ahead and we'll put it in full speed just because this is a relatively long battle as we go through the army composition. So I've got Lewin Leoncoeur, a Damsel Lore of Life, 2 Spearmen at Arms to help protect the back line, a couple more out on the flanks, and the rest of my force is all Cavs. So we've got 4 Grail Knights for some hard-hitting heavy cavalry and 1 Knights Errant here. Wanted to try these guys out with that new lance formation. They're kind of a solid low-tier heavy cav. They're actually the cheapest heavy cav in the game. Only 80 armor, not the best combat stats, 50 charge bonus and 30 weapon strength, okay-ish leadership, but I was genuinely curious to try them in this particular matchup. So let's go ahead and take a look at Black Iron's Dwarfs. So he's got a cannon here, a couple of Thunderers. The front line is going to be Longbeards with great weapons, a couple of regular Longbeards, and another Longbeard with great weapons, 2 Ironbreakers, a unit of Slayers, Grombrindle, the White Dwarf, a Runesmith, and yeah, 1 more unit of Slayers. So fairly straightforward dwarf build. You can see the forces of chaos are pushing forward already. I forgot to mention I do have a unit of mounted yeomen out there currently harassing that Cygor. We've got 2 units of Minotaurs with shields, very solid with that missile block chance. A couple of Chaos Poison Moorhounds for the Chaos player. Up front we've got 2 Ungor Spearman Herd, a Bestgor Herd, a couple of Ungor Spearman Herd out on the side, and another Chaos Spawn with 2 Ungor Raiders. Kazarak the One Eyes leads the Beastmen with a Bray Shaman Lore of Death. We've got some Chosen with Halberds, 2 of them. Looks like 3 of them, actually. Holy cow. Aspiring Champions, another unit of Aspiring Champions. Front line of Chaos Marauders. So a very heavy line of Halberds, and then 2 Chaos Knights just sword and board. And of course the Cygor. So already a wild fight ensuing. That Purple Son of Zerus mostly missed, but Lewin had baited out this engagement here, pulled in a lot of these Minotaurs and so on. Now the Dwarfs are going to be coming in to support the High King here. And, well, not their High King necessarily, but the High King of Bretonnia nonetheless. And you can see the forces of chaos are going to be collapsing here. Looks like a Fate of Buna going off, probably on those Dragonback Slayers, which despite the magic resistance is going to be a pretty good pick there. Grail Knights have gotten themselves stuck in out on the far side against these Bestigor, and yeah, they've been hit by Fate of Buna as well, and they're going to be off the battlefield in a big hurry, so that's a huge loss right off the bat. But Black Iron's cannon unfortunately was collapsed, and I wasn't fast enough with my protection of the spears. Thankfully, the Dwarf cannon crews do have relatively high leadership, so they should be back on the field. But yeah, you can see we're going to be bringing in another charge here, this time from the Knights Errant. They're going to actually do quite a bit of shock damage to the light troops. There are some Chosen with Halberds standing in here, so they're not going to like that, but they are able to do enough damage to actually terrify, with the support of Lewin here, those Ungor Spearman Herd. You can see the Chaos Knights riding around on this side. We've also got Grail Knights supporting Dwarfs here in the center, going to be charging through their ranks and lancing through some of these Chaos Marauders here. And that Cygor, though, just relentlessly firing away. My mounted yeomen haven't been enough. My opponent has wisely got his Ungor Raiders here in support. They are going to be able to pretty easily deal with the mounted yeomen, but it's mostly just a huge pitched fight here in the center. You can see this massive blob of Chaos Warriors and Beastmen fighting up against this brave little pocket of Dwarves here. So you can see it's almost a full surround at this point. We've got this huge concave right here of Chaos Warriors on this tiny pocket of Dwarfs, and Lewin's just standing on top of the Dwarfs, having a great time. But yeah, the Grail Knight's going to be charging through, doing some nice shock damage to the Marauders, and yeah, we are going to have to watch out for those Chaos Knights. Thankfully, they don't have lances, so they don't have the incredible charge bonus. But now that these guys are fixed in place, we're going to bring in a rear charge from another Grail Knight here into these Chosen with Halberds. You can see now at this point, now that there's a huge blob, just the blasting charges being opened up here, and anything with low armor is going to take a ton of damage from those blasting charges. Thankfully, the Chosen should be relatively relatively immune since this fight was kind of starting to turn south a little bit. I got Lewin up and out of there through that dwarf pocket. And yeah, the dwarves are still holding the line though. These Longbeards and now the Ironbreakers are moving up. You can see they've been chucking their blasting charges, and mixed in with the Longbeards with great weapons, the Ironbreakers can kind of take the hits. Longbeards can dish out the armor-piercing damage, so very nice synergy there. See the Chosen are trying to push through, getting on these Thunderers and so on. The backline just got some Grail Knights just chilling out, looking for good targets of opportunity. Waiting for my opponent to fix himself on something, and then we're going to be charging in from the side and rear. You can see we've got the Spearmen at Arms moving up, now going to be helping to do just that, fixing a lot of these units in position. The Grail Knights coming through on a charge. We're not going to do the most damage to the Chosen with Halberds, but you know, we need to start working them down somehow, or else we're going to get into a late game situation with lots of Chosen, and that's not great, definitely. So Lewin has taken quite a bit of damage, so I'm just kind of keeping him up and away, trying to you know, heal as much as possible. This center fight is still very, very pitched. The Dwarfs have almost been able to win out here with just the Ironbreakers coming in the late stage there with you know, their massive 68 melee defense, 125 armor. I mean, these guys are very, very tough units. You can see those Chosen with Halberds getting hit by that Rune of Wrath and Ruin. That's going to take them down quite a bit as well. And we're just unrelenting on these Chaos Knights, just pinning them down with Grail Knights, doing a ton of damage. And yeah, Lewin himself is going to come down here and do a ton of shock damage to these Chosen. And yeah, he does have the armor-piercing damage to get through these guys, but he's not going to want to stay in this fight for too long. So we're going to try and pull him back up into the air. Just cycling in and out is the name of the game at this point. We're letting Black Iron be the Anvil to the Hammer of Bretonnia here, so yeah, very, very cool stuff. Beautiful cinematic combat here in the Chaos Waste. Very lore-friendly and thematic. Man, such a beautiful game. I remember when Total War Warhammer 1 was first announced, and there comes that purple sun right in there, doing quite a bit of damage to those Grail Knights. Hopefully it doesn't come back here and park itself on top of those Chosen. That could potentially be bad. Oh, it looks like just falling just short there. But yeah, I remember when Total War Warhammer 1 was first announced, I was super excited because I've always, you know, although I hadn't really played Warhammer Fantasy Tabletop, I always kind of looked at the art style and I was aware of what it was, and I always thought it would be super cool to have something like that in Total War Warhammer, and indeed it has been. It's just been, you know, and I can imagine for somebody who's played the tabletop, it's kind of watching all these, you know, models come to life and fight in this beautiful, just beautifully rendered game. It's been absolutely amazing. You can see Lewin was doing a bit of damage there to Kazrak and his Brave Buddy. We just cycle him out and bring him back around now with some Iron Breakers to help out. We're going to be able to take down the Beastman leadership, and that's going to finally start to swing the battle in our favor. It's been a very, very close battle up until now, so yeah, you can see a lot of the Beastman Chaos forces are starting to waver at this point. Chosen still holding relatively strong, but we do have the Grail Knights charging in and just crushing, just absolutely crushing these Ungol Raiders here. Just going to be pushing through now and trying to chase down a lot of these routing units, just keep them off the battlefield. I guess Chaos forces were led by Chaos Sorcerer Lord on foot, which is pretty interesting. Lord of Death here. He's fighting currently against the Dwarfs, but yeah, the Chosen, unfortunately, although they do have much better leadership now and are harder to tear out, they're still not immune to psychology, so, you know, late game situation like this, lacking that leadership support, they are going to start to crumble, so yeah, just continuous charges from the Grail Knights is kind of the name of the game at this point, while the Dwarfs just kind of do their work, chopping it in the front lines and kind of grinding the Chaos Warriors down. So very cool stuff. Dwarf forces are pretty tattered, but those Longbeards, the Runesmith is still fairly healthy. The Ironbreakers, Grombrindle has taken a major beating, but he's still kicking back here in the back lines. Just axe out for the Dwarfs, ready to protect his people. So, oh man, gonna be taking down one of these Chaos Knights. Super cool. So yeah, it's gonna be GG in just a few minutes here, so we'll just soak up some more of this cinematic action as things kind of wrap themselves up. And yeah, this is one of the things I love most about 2v2s, is being able to bring armies that complement each other. And you know, I've been having some discussions recently with some, oh man, is Lewin like standing on top of Viki there? That's a bit strange. That's a new one. Cool trick, Lewin. But anyway, the twos, you know, and I've been having some discussions recently with, you know, Black Iron and Italian Spartacus and others. I honestly think it's more, you know, it's stronger in 2v2s if you plan your armies around each other and, you know, deploy together and try and complement each other's strengths. The dwarves, for example, lack mobility almost entirely, so Bretonnia, of course, has great elite tier heavy cavalry. So because the dwarves can bring a solid front line, I can then invest all of my points into these, you know, Grail Knights and so on, who for the most part did an amazing amount of work. The one that got kind of collapsed on and Fate of Unit, definitely a rough situation there, but very nice on the Grail Knights. Still not super sold on the Knights Errant. Might have to try them out against someone like Skaven. I think might be a good matchup for them. But overall, Spearmen at Arms didn't do much, but you know, you don't really ask them to. 73 kills on Lewin is pretty solid, considering what we were up against for Black Iron. The Ironbreakers were really the MVPs of his army, I would say, coming in that late game, tossing in those blasting charges, and then just grinding down what was left of the Chaos Forces there. 60 kills on the Dragonback Slayers is also pretty good. An XP Chevron on the cannon, it definitely did some great work. Those Minotaurs, which were juiced up to triple gold chevrons, wow, quite expensive. They were pretty much made combat ineffective before the fighting even started from that cannon, so very well played there. For the Beastmen player, yeah, Cygor was able to fire for most of the game. He got some pretty nice value. No XP Chevron, though. Some decent value from the Best Gore Herd. Just the rest of his army just didn't quite have the armor piercing to get through the front line of the Dwarfs. Whereas the Chaos player here, a lot of kills on the Chosen with Halberds. These guys can definitely pay themselves off and are quickly becoming one of my favorite units in Total War Warhammer. The rest of his army, though, 87 kills on these Chaos Knights is pretty solid, but I'd imagine a lot of that came against low-tier peasants, considering they didn't get an experienced Chevron. Aspiring Champions, a little bit of an odd pick. I mean, these guys will definitely cut through plenty of peasants, but I don't think they're a really good pick against the Dwarfs. Chaos Marauders are more just a chaff unit, but the Chaos Sorcerer Lord got some pretty good fated units off, so well played there. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this battle. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe. I'm keeping it coming with more Total War Warhammer 2 content every single day, so stay tuned for more, and we'll see you next time.